The Hohokam culture thrived in what is now known as the American Southwest, particularly in present-day Arizona. They were active between approximately 180 and 1450 AD, making their civilization one of the longest-lasting in the region. Spanning nearly 1,500 years, the Hohokam culture developed a profound knowledge of agriculture, adapting to the desert environment by harnessing water resources efficiently. The name Hohokam comes from the Pima language, meaning those who have gone. The term those who have gone reflects the Pima people's belief that the Hohokam ancestors disappeared, leaving behind remnants of their advanced civilization. Hohokam society is renowned for their sophisticated irrigation systems, which allowed them to farm in an otherwise arid environment. Their irrigation canals, some of which are still in use, demonstrate a long-term commitment to sustainable farming and communal planning. They built more than 500 miles of canals, demonstrating advanced engineering skills for their time. The extensive canal system, requiring communal labor, highlights the cooperative nature of Hohokam society and their understanding of hydrology. Hohokam settlements were concentrated around the Salt and Gila rivers, benefiting from the water sources. The Salt and Gila River valleys provided the necessary water and fertile land for the Hohokam to establish a thriving agricultural civilization. They primarily grew crops like maize, beans, and squash, which formed the staple of their diet. By cultivating these crops, the Hohokam ensured a stable food supply, enabling population growth and cultural development in the desert Southwest. Hohokam pottery is characterized by its red-on-brown designs, often featuring geometric patterns and occasional human or animal figures. The pottery artistry wasn't just utilitarian, it also served as a medium for cultural expression, preserving visual narratives of their beliefs and daily life. The culture had a hierarchical social structure with skilled artisans, farmers, and likely a ruling elite. Social hierarchy in Hohokam society allowed for specialized roles from agriculture to craft making, enhancing their overall productivity and cultural complexity. Hohokam traded extensively, exchanging goods like shells from the Gulf of California and turquoise from the north. They had a significant trading network that reached as far as present-day Mexico and beyond. The trade network's reach indicates the Hohokam's economic prowess and their integration into a broader Mesoamerican sphere of influence. Hohokam ball courts, similar to those found in Mesoamerica, suggest cultural exchange with Central America. Ball courts suggest shared cultural practices with Mesoamerican cultures, potentially facilitating the exchange of ideas, religion, and sports. They were skilled at crafting stone, bone, and shell artifacts, including jewelry and tools. Their skill in working with various materials showcases the Hohokam's adaptability and creativity, turning natural resources into valuable commodities. The Hohokam were among the first in the region to work with copper, creating small decorative items like bells and pendants. Copper work, albeit limited, marks a technological advancement and potential contact with more northern cultures or trading routes. Their housing consisted of pit houses and later above-ground adobe structures, with some settlements evolving into larger villages. The pit houses evolved into more substantial structures, illustrating the Hohokam's architectural progression and response to changing needs. The Snaketown site, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, provides crucial insights into Hohokam life. Snaketown's designation underscores the importance of preserving Hohokam heritage and the rich archaeological data that helps us understand their past. Hohokam burial practices included cremation, with some sites showing evidence of communal burials. Cremation practices suggest a belief in the afterlife and a ceremony to honor the deceased, contributing to our understanding of Hohokam spiritual beliefs. They were known for their use of platform mounds, which served as ceremonial centers or elite residences. Platform mounds, akin to ancient temples or administrative centers, point to centralized authority and complex societal structures. Hohokam art often featured the image of the sloth-haired deity, a figure of unknown significance, but believed to be connected to rain or agriculture. The sloth-haired deity's imagery hints at a complex mythology, possibly associated with fertility and the balance of nature. The culture declined around 1450 AD, leaving behind abandoned settlements, reasons for which are still debated among archaeologists. The decline of the Hohokam remains an enigma, fueling debates on the interplay of environmental stress, social dynamics, and external influences. Some theories suggest environmental factors such as drought played a role in the decline of the Hohokam. Drought resilience studies today owe much to the Hohokam's irrigation systems, highlighting their enduring impact on modern water management. Others propose internal social changes or conflicts might have contributed to their collapse. The Hohokam left no written records, making their history largely a mystery that archaeologists piece together through artifacts and structures. Their legacy includes the foundation for modern irrigation systems in Arizona. The Phoenix area, where much of Hohokam territory lies, still uses some of the canal routes they established. The persistence of these canals underscores the Hohokam's lasting legacy on urban planning in Phoenix and the region. The Hohokam are ancestors to some of today's Native American tribes, including the Yakimo O'odham, Pima, and Tono O'odham. Genetic and cultural ties link the Hohokam to contemporary tribes, showcasing a living heritage that spans centuries. Petroglyphs and rock art are found throughout the Hohokam region, depicting animals, people, and abstract symbols. Petroglyphs serve as a silent testament to Hohokam communication and artistic expression, connecting us to their symbolic world. The Hohokam also made use of ballgame paraphernalia, suggesting a sport similar to Mesoamerican ballgames was played. The similarity to Mesoamerican ballgames implies cultural diffusion, suggesting a broader cultural exchange across ancient North America. They practiced potlatch-like ceremonies, sharing food and gifts, indicating a strong community-oriented culture. Potlatch-like events highlight the value placed on community unity and generosity, a fundamental aspect of Hohokam social cohesion. Hohokam settlements were not uniformly distributed. Some areas were densely populated, while others were sparsely settled. Uneven settlement patterns indicate a nuanced understanding of resource distribution and strategic community placement. Their society appeared to have a complex calendar system, as inferred from the alignment of certain structures with celestial events. The solar and lunar alignments of structures suggest a deep astronomical knowledge integrated into their religious and civic life. Hohokam traded with the ancestral Puebloans and Asadzi, exchanging goods and ideas. Trade with the ancestral Puebloans illustrates a web of connections across the continent, enriching both cultures' material and cultural lives. They had a unique way of making pottery, using paddle and anvil techniques, which left distinctive marks on the clay. The paddle and anvil technique left unique impressions, making Hohokam pottery easily recognizable and showcasing their craftsmanship. Hohokam settlements show evidence of craft specialization with workshops for pottery, shell working, and stone tool production. Craft specialization and workshops indicate a division of labor that contributed to the efficiency and diversity of their material culture. The Hohokam had a distinct style in their basketry, which included both functional and decorative pieces. Basketry, both practical and ornamental, demonstrates a high level of skill and artistic expression in everyday items. Their society was organized into smaller communities that would gather for larger events at central places like ball courts or platform mounds. Gatherings at central places suggest a balance between autonomy of local groups and the importance of communal events. The Hohokam were skilled at weaving, producing textiles from cotton, which they cultivated locally. Cotton cultivation, a rare practice in the prehistoric Southwest, highlights the Hohokam's agricultural adaptability and innovation. Archaeological evidence suggests they played a variety of games, including one involving rolling dice made of bone. Games and leisure activities provide insight into the lighter side of Hohokam life, contributing to a holistic view of their society. Hohokam settlements exhibit a gradual evolution in architectural styles over time, reflecting changing social and environmental conditions. Architectural changes over time reflect societal evolution, technological advancements, and responses to environmental pressures. Hohokam were not a warlike society. There is little archaeological evidence of fortifications or weapons of war. The peaceful nature of Hohokam society is suggested by the lack of defensive structures, pointing to a focus on internal harmony and cooperation. Their religious beliefs are not well understood, but archaeological findings suggest a connection to nature and possibly ancestor worship. Ancestor worship, though speculative, could explain the reverence for past generations seen in their funerary practices and art. The Hohokam's disappearance does not mean their culture vanished entirely. Elements were absorbed into succeeding cultures. The continuation of Hohokam cultural elements in successor cultures highlights the enduring legacy of their traditions and innovations. Rock shelters and cliff dwellings, though less common than their earth-based structures, were also part of their architectural repertoire. Rock shelters and cliff dwellings indicate a diverse habitat usage, adapting to different landscapes within their territory. Hohokam jewelry often incorporated materials like bison bone, indicating trade networks reaching into the Great Plains. The inclusion of bison bone in their artifacts suggests extensive trade networks, reaching far beyond their immediate region. The Hohokam region was home to a variety of wildlife, which likely influenced their hunting practices and dietary habits. The presence of wildlife in their environment shaped hunting practices, dietary choices, and possibly their spiritual beliefs. Evidence of dog domestication has been found within Hohokam sites, suggesting they kept dogs for companionship or possibly work. Dogs in Hohokam society may have been companions and potentially worked alongside humans, exemplifying the human-animal bond. Hohokam society demonstrates a deep understanding of their environment, adapting and thriving for centuries in a challenging landscape. Their ability to thrive for centuries in a harsh environment testifies to the Hohokam's profound environmental stewardship and resilience. Today, the Hohokam culture continues to inspire scholars and visitors alike, with many sites open to the public for educational purposes. The accessibility of Hohokam sites today encourages public engagement, fostering appreciation for the rich cultural history of the American Southwest.